Okay, hello. It is a little after midnight it is now March 21st, 2020. But I want to look at the high temperatures for the day. Let's put that back up on the screen here so you can see. This is what I put together. And you can see here that the worst of it was over New Jersey, where almost everything south of this line was in the 80s, which is absolutely crazy for March. I can't even remember it being this hot in March anywhere. It's crazy. But as far as Long Island goes, and we'll first start with that, these highs here, JFK and Farmingdale, 73. This happened actually later on this evening when the winds went to the west and brought the temperatures up, and I'll show you that in a minute. Islip avoided the 70s, 68 was the high there, again, latest in the evening. 59 at Gabreski Airport. As we go into New York City, Central Park was 77, LaGuardia 78, White Plains 74, Connecticut again avoided the worst of it there. 67 was the high, but then as we look at Caldwell, 77, Somerset 81 was the high in Belmar, Farmingdale, Monmouth County 81, 81 also at McGuire Air Force Base, 81 in Toms River, and 83 in Atlantic City, at Atlantic City Airport. So right now, we're looking at the temperatures here, and you can see we've got those west winds that have now picked up, and therefore the sea breeze has actually, because we don't have a sea breeze, the temperatures have gone up, and now we have temperatures that are at 70 degrees at Farmingdale. 65. I think this is Farmingdale, right? Yeah, 70 degrees at midnight at Farmingdale in March. It's pretty crazy. We're also seeing that in New York City, New Jersey. So you see the uniform temperatures, more uniform temperatures because the winds went over to the west, and therefore we got some of the heat coming off New Jersey that went into our area as a result of that. We do have some light rain moving across the area, so we'll look at the radar here. And you will see that. We have the light rain from southwest to northeast, and this is an indication of a slow-moving cold front, and that's just why it's unlikely that we're going to have a clear day tomorrow, or at least from what it looks like right now. And you'll see that when we look at the satellite and the models as well. So we're going to first start off with Farmingdale Airport here, looking at some of the observations. 71. All right, it is 71 degrees at midnight in March at Farmingdale. West wind at 16, gusting to 21. Dew points down to 47. But that is pretty crazy. Very crazy and very worrying sign. Very worrying sign. Again, this is not normal for this time of the year at all. 67 at Islip. And when we look, actually, I wanted to show you the history for Farmingdale for a minute, so I could show you what happened. So when we look at the weather history, you will see here that we had a nice sea breeze, and then right around 9 o'clock or so, winds went to the west, and we got some of that heat from the west, and the temperatures actually shot up into the 70s. But like I said, it could have been worse. We could have been in Jersey, where it was quite warm. And Central Park, 69 at this hour with light rain. West wind at 16, gusting to 24. And just the warmth today is just incredible for March. Incredible warmth for March. I'm going to have to see if there were any records broken. We'll check the climate and see if there were any record. I don't see any record reports. Obviously, the most impressive warmth has been at Atlantic City, which is still 71 at this hour. And you can see they were in the 80s for a good part of the afternoon. 83. This is March, all right. This is normal for like early summer, all right. It's March. What can I say? 69 at Toms River, and it hit 81 there, and you can see it also in the 80s all day. So just incredible warmth. So looking at the satellite here, you'll see this front is barely moving to the south. You can see this high is trying to build in from Canada. You can see that right here. The cool air is trying to build in, and the dry air and the clear air is trying to build in. We've got this front in the way, because the jet stream flow is is southwest and northeast instead of a nice trough, bringing that the clear air down. It's gonna really suck. At least for those people upstate, you'll get some relief. You'll get some sunny skies probably tomorrow, but I don't know about us. We're gonna start off with the GFS, obviously, and we'll start off with the skies. And like I said, I'm just looking at this weekend in this weather update. So you can see the clouds just stick around, and by the time it clears out, it'll be getting dark. And then when Sunday rolls around, we've got these other clouds popping up over us. But if you're up in Albany or upstate, you'll be probably having a nice couple of clear days out of this. But for us, I don't know. It doesn't look too likely. This is the GFS, and if we go and look at the NAM is a little more encouraging on both fronts, because the NAM does push it a little further to the south. By noon, we'll have clear skies. But then what happens is we get into Sunday, you see you have these clouds. The NAM seems to keep them to the south, but it does bring some cirrus in. So I really don't know if we're going to see a clear weekend. And after this, I cannot. I mean, until further notice, we're stuck in the clouds. We're not going to have any clear days. I could look at the RGM too as well. You can see that cirrus rolling in there on Sunday there, and then all those other clouds. So by the time the clouds get out of here on Saturday, it's already late afternoon. So it's just this front is just not moving, and the problem is if we were looking at we'll look at the NAM 12 kilometer, and I'll show you what the problem is that you have this high, but it's to the north, and you have this jet stream that's basically, we'll draw it like this. Have this jet stream, which I'll draw in purple. Purple, not pink. It's like this. So it's not, instead of a jet stream like this, which would bring the dry air down, we have a jet stream that's coming from the southwest to the northeast, which is why the front isn't pushing, and that nice high is going to the north. And if we were to look at the upper air, clear this out of here. Now let me go to the upper air here. Oh, this doesn't do the. You have to use these models for instead. All right. Problem is the damn upper air. All right, yeah, this is good. Well, this is the surface, but you see what the problem is. The core of this high goes down to the Midwest and then lifts back up into Canada instead of coming straight down to the United States. So we don't really get into the clear air, and that's all because of the way the jet stream is set up at the upper levels. If we go and we look at the upper dynamics, you'll see, look at that. There's no trough. There's no trough, and you got this zonal flow, which kills us. Look at that. West to east zonal flow just kills us, man. It just kills us. So here's the west to east zonal flow. That's just a terrible pattern to have. So this is basically what you have here. So you can't get the clear air in. You get just constant clouds, one storm after another, when you have this kind of pattern. And you'll see what I mean as we look at the upper air here. As we go into the future here, we'll look at the upper air. Let me get this back to over here. You'll see that we just have this zonal flow, and then eventually the trough goes into the west, but we got the ridge in the east, and you can see there's no sign of any improvement at all whatsoever. We're stuck in a crap pattern that's going to continue until further notice. And by the time we get out of it, it'll probably be too damn warm to go to the Pine Barrens. So it kind of sucks. It really does suck. You know, the weather pattern has been awful, but with what's going on, I guess it's just as well. We can look at the Euro as well. So this is the Euro, upper air. You see, you got that ridge, but there's no trough. The trough literally goes by to the north. See, if we were in this, we'd get into some clear air, and it would probably be much colder. But the trough just goes by to the north, and then we got this ridge, and then just continues. There's no end in sight. And then look at this trough in Gulf of Alaska again, as we get toward the end of the month, and that means it's going to be very warm. We're going to probably have a record warm month across the United States, especially in the East Coast. So we're going to look at some of the temperature anomalies. I know this doesn't go all the way out, but we'll show you what I mean as we head into next week, as we go look at the long range. So you'll see, we saw the above normal now. We go closer to normal tomorrow, just close to average, and then Sunday will probably go a little below normal, and then maybe Monday will go a little below normal with that storm and that northeast flow. And then Tuesday above normal, Wednesday above normal, Thursday above normal. You get the idea. It's just, the areas that'll get the cold weather is obviously here in the Dakotas. That's where you want to be. But for us here, it's going to be above normal. It's probably for the rest of the month. It's a couple of below normal days, and that's just about it. So we're going to go right back to look at our what our next storm systems will be, and obviously you could tell I'm disappointed. I really thought we were going to have some nice weather this weekend, some clear weather, but that's looking more and more unlikely at this point. So as we go into Wednesday into Monday, you'll see here comes the next rain system. Again, this is going to be a heavy soaking rain later Monday right through the first part of Tuesday. Look at that strong low. We'll probably get a lot of rain out of it. And then that's done. We get one dry day on Tuesday, and then boom, here comes the next rainstorm for Wednesday. So it's just as well that they're advised to stay in, because when it's raining, I just don't like going out. I just don't go out in the rain. Thursday, maybe we get out of it. Friday, maybe, but you can see just another week high. And look at that. There's the next system. So it just never ends. One system after another from the Pacific going in across the country with the dreaded Pacific flow once again ruining things for us. We'll now look at the temperatures here. And we are looking at the GFS, by the way. I'm not going to be going to windy.com this time. So as we go into tomorrow, you'll see the temperatures drop. We'll probably still be close to 50 degrees. And then for Sunday, we do get to cool down a little below normal with highs in the mid-40s. And then we get that cold rain on Monday, and maybe some snow up north. But with a cold rain, miserable day, upper 30s, low 40s. But then Tuesday, we warm right back up into the 50s again. And then we have another raw day on Wednesday with the northeast flow. And then we warm right back up on Thursday. But it's going to be junky. I don't see any clear days ahead. We can look ahead at the skies, and you'll see what I mean. So it sucks. So here is. So we already looked at this already. You'll see once we go past that, we're not going to clear out. Tuesday, Wednesday, more clouds. Thursday, more clouds. Friday, more clouds. Saturday, more clouds. It just never ends. So I mean, it's just really annoying. If you want the sun, I would suggest you go north up to upstate New York. Obviously, probably not a good idea to be traveling with all this stuff going on, but if you want the sun, that's where you're going to want to go. We need the sun, too, because the solar radiation helps kill these viruses, and all these damn clouds around just doesn't help matters at all. We need the sun. We need to get rid of these clouds. So let's look at some of the other models. I didn't look at the Canadian, so look at that one. This seems to bring some sun by the afternoon, and this seems to keep a lot of those clouds to the south on Sunday. We'll have to see what happens. I mean, we're praying right now because this is our only chance for clear weather tomorrow and Sunday. After that, it's a junk fest. So just keep that in mind, and that's pretty much what's going on with the weather, I guess. It's a crappy pattern to end a crappy winter. If you can even call it a winter at this point. You know how disgusted I am with the weather. But this is part of what we deal with as we deal with the effects of climate change, which everybody seems to have forgotten about conveniently. So that's going to be it. Take care. Thank you for watching.